evening, everyone. I welcome all of you to yet another lecture of Simulation of Business Systems course. And previously, we have seen quite a lot of new topics. We've seen the definition of simulation, the importance of simulation, the type of simulations, the consideration when do we use simulation, those kind of aspects. Then we looked into the history of the simulation, how this tool came up as one of the most popular operation research tool, and how to study complex systems or systems using simulation. And we also talked about some of the new techniques of simulation, like these with the multiple models, then Monte Carlo simulation, etc. We worked a small example of a bank with hand and see how the simulation is working when customers are coming to a bank. And we also worked a small model on Monte Carlo simulation, on how to do Monte Carlo simulation. We also saw how we can use Excel, Microsoft Excel, to do Monte Carlo simulation, and how when you do large number of replications of the simulations, the output starts converging to a real value, that kind of a thing. Okay. So with this, today what we are now going to do is, we are now going to study the new topics on how to build simulations. When you are building a simulation, what are the major aspects? And under this topic, the major topics that we will be discussing as part of this particular section is, what do you mean by a modeler's viewpoint? How a modeler look towards simulation? Or what we are more interested in it is, how would the approach followed by the modeler towards simulation results in building the right simulation. Then the second part is the key issues of simulation. What all we need to consider while building the simulation, building a simulation. Okay. So that aspect is also taken care of here. Then what are the user needs? Okay. Why do the user need simulation? What are the user needs? Okay. What are the user needs we can satisfy using the simulation? And then when to use simulation, circumstances suitable for simulation, when do we use it? Okay. That aspect. Then we talk about, so these things to a large extent will tell us, the provide guidelines on when to use the simulation, kind of a thing. Then we talk about entities, attributes, event activity, then steps in the simulation. These aspects will be the second part of the lecture. Okay. So let's start with the first and most important aspect of it, is what we call as the modeler's viewpoint. Okay. And so here what we are talking about, what all aspects the modeler should consider while building a simulation. Okay. So that is the main aspect that we are going to discuss here. Okay. And so what are the main aspects? What all aspects the modeler should consider when he or she is building the simulation? So the first and foremost thing is, the main key issue is how to do it quickly. Okay. Or here the major consideration is speed. The sub questions under this category is how to build the model quickly, then it is how to experiment with the model quickly, okay. Then another one that you can talk about is how to interpret the simulation results quickly. So, all of these things, they all focus on, as we said, is speed, because time equals or equivalent to money. More the time you spend in doing this, more the money that you will be end up spending on running the simulation. So, here what you are trying to do is you are trying to do it at a quicker pace or a faster pace. Okay. So, do it quickly so that expenses to build simulation can be reduced. Okay. So, this is the major consideration in how to do it quickly, or we are considering here is the speed. Now, once the speed aspect is taken care of, then the next question obviously is how to build the right model. Okay. We will use the word right model. So, the aspect here we are going to try is, we are going to think about graphics, we are going to think about virtual reality, then simulation, etc. All of these things you might want to combine so that the model that is right for the problem is built. This implies that model captures what is necessary. Okay. So, what we are doing is we combine graphics, we combine virtual reality, we combine simulation, all of this, okay, so that we can build a model that is right for the problem at hand, or whatever the problem that you are trying to simulate, or whatever be the simulation problem, then you want to build a model that is right to it, and it ensures that the model captures what is necessary from the system. So, that is building the right model. So, this means right model for the specific problem. This is what we need to think important here is the right model for the specific problem. Whatever be the specific problem, we are interested in building the right model for it, or the model that is appropriate. Okay. It is the appropriateness of the model that we are talking about. Appropriateness. Okay. All right. Then the third major consideration that we have here is how to know about the correctness of the model. Okay. This is more into what we are basically talking about is how do we verify, okay, how can one verify whether the model is correct or model is right. How can one do that? What are the ways you can do this? Okay. So, this concept of verification, it is basically like kind of in a way certification that the model does what it is supposed to do. Okay. So, what we are interested here is we are interested in to find out certify or assure people that the model is doing what it is supposed to do. Okay. And how do we certify that? How is this approval, or how does this tell people that yes, this is the model that is supposed to be built and it does what it is supposed to do. Okay. Now, the fourth consideration out of this is how to interpret the output correctly. So, here means you have a system, then you say abstract to a model to study the system. Okay. So, you have a system, then you abstract to a model to study the system, use the model to conduct experiments. This implies data collection, and from there you have is the interpret data or results. Okay. So, you have a system, a complex thing. Okay. This is complex. From here you abstract into a simulation model, So, you abstract to a simulation model so that you can study the system. So, this is lesser complex. Okay. Only necessary features. Only whatever is necessary to be studied is abstracted to a model. Using the model you conduct experiments. Experiments is where you basically the model giving the output, or here is the expected behavior of the system. And from here, once you use this experimentation, it generates data. When the data is collected, and then how do you interpret the data? Okay. When you put a graph or something like this, then what does this graph mean? Okay. And how do you interpret this graph? And so that the conclusions that are made out of this data. So, this results in what we call as valid conclusions. How can you do that? Using this approach. So, that is the interpretation of the output correctly. So, here the importance is valid conclusions, or we can say it as rational insights. That is also one other way to say this. Okay. Then a fifth problem that is done quite lately by people is people think about how to reuse the simulation, or at least components of simulation. The question here is, how do we reuse the simulation, or at least the components of the simulation is the major aspect of this. Okay. So, there are multiple ways you can think about it, but the most important part of it is, why do you want to reuse the simulation? Because of the first thing, okay, time to build, or time to build the simulations are very high. You need to spend a lot of time to build simulations. So, if you spend a lot of time building simulations, then if you once build a simulation, you are more interested in reusing it, because more you reuse it, then you can actually reduce the time to build the next simulation model. If you can reuse it, then your problem of solving this actually becomes much more easy. So, from a modeler's viewpoint, these 5 are the major key issues when it comes to building a simulation. Now, with that, let us see how do we do, what are the focal points, major focal points. Okay. What are the focal points on how do we build a simulation? So, these are the major considerations that we told earlier. Now, what are the focal points? Okay. As a modeler, so here is, as a modeler, the following things should be paid attention to. Okay. What are the major things? Number one is focus on how the internal works, how the internals work. Okay. Internals of what? So, the aspect here is devil is in the details. It is kind of a adage that people use. Okay. That means details of system, details of model, details of assumption, details of experiments, etc. So, what we are saying here is that you should focus on the internals, how the details, how the different details of the system, how is the simulation model, the internal aspects of it, how does each sub module, each aspects of the simulation is working. That is the first part that we are, for the focal point need to be of the modeler. The second part is the focus on the simulation programming languages. So, because as I said earlier, this is an important focus because simulation studies are expensive. Why? Takes lot of time to do modeling and experimentation. So, if you take a lot of time to model and experiment, then what happens? This results in large costs. Okay. So, simulation studies are never cheap. So, then the way to, so how do we reduce the cost then? How do we reduce cost? Okay. The first way to do it would be use the right tool to solve the problem. For studying a simple facility like a bank or something to do, you would rather not build a custom built simulation stuff, you would rather use a readily available simulation package. But let us say you are trying to study the launch of a nuclear bomb or something, then you would probably end up building a custom model. So, how do you use how can we use the right tool? If you have the right tool to solve the problem, then that will result in reducing the cost. Okay. Second one is make new mistakes. Do not repeat old ones. Okay. When you are building a simulation model, because the system is complex, okay, the mistakes will be mistakes due to complexity. Okay. So, if you make a mistake, then fine, that is all right, correct the mistake, correct it and do not make it again. Many a times you will keep on, if you know that how much of time is spent on solving the repeated old mistakes, it's crazy that, and this will also reduce the cost. Okay. So, you use the right tool and to solve the problem, and then if you want to if you are making mistakes, make new mistakes, never repeat the old mistakes. If you do these two will help in reducing the cost. Now, the third focal point for the modeler in this regard is focus on the speed. Okay. The mantra here is that time is money, and hence reduce time. Reduce the time needed to build the model, reduce the time needed to do the experimentation, reduce the time taken to interpret the results. All these are part of the focus on the speed aspects. So, the question here is how? How do we do this? There are two ways we can do this. Number one is build the simulation models fast. So, first thing is you do is you focus on building the simulation models quickly, fastly. Okay. If you can build this fast, then reduce the modeling time. That is what you are trying to do. You are trying to reduce the modeling time. Second part is build fast models, okay, or what we call as efficient implementation. So, we are looking at, you are focusing on building the simulation models fast, and then you are trying to build fast models, okay, fast simulation models, or you are looking at the efficient implementation of the simulation. Here reduce the analysis time, analysis and experimentation time. That is what we are focusing in this particular aspect of how to build the simulation model. So, these three focal points, focus on the how the internal works, focus on which programming, which tool to use, okay, the tool aspect of it, and focus on the speed. These three focus points will actually help, should be paid attention to by the modeler to realize very good simulation study. Okay. With that, now we will get into what we call as the key issues in simulation. And as I said earlier, with the focal points, and some of the aspects are important, and there are, so here what we say is we will focus on major questions that are to be answered, under each category. That is what we are trying to do. So, the first thing, as I said earlier, is build the right model. That is the first focal point, and the major questions that need to be answered in this point will be what to include as part of the right model. Okay. So, what do you want to include? What are to be included as part of the right model? Okay. In a better way to think about it is, and then what are to be included and how much in detail. If you want to include something, fine, go ahead and include, but then how much in detail you need to include this, okay? Because as I said, more details implies result in more time, okay, implies more cost. Okay. So, if you keep on including the more details, yes, it will take you more time, and the time will translate to a bigger cost. Okay. The decisions here impact or influence, okay, or affect the validity of the simulation model, the speed of the simulation model, then the development time and cost, okay, etc. So, all these aspects, the validity of the model. So, if you do not include sufficient details, then the model become invalid. If you include too much of detail, then the model might become valid, but then it will reduce the speed of the model with which you can do experiment, and it will also reduce the speed on the development time. And once the development time increases or goes through the roof, then the cost will also go through the roof, and then the cost of the simulation become quite expensive. Second one is obtain good performance. Okay, this is the second aspect of it. Obtain a good performance. Okay, so which means the output of the simulation model should be usable. Okay, that is one part. Then the model should not require too much of time nor too big of a hardware to execute. Okay. So, you should not require too much of time to do the experimentation with the model, nor you should not require a too expensive of a hardware to execute the model. So, it should be a balanced performance. So, good performance, or you can think about it as a balanced performance. Okay. That is what you are more interested in this aspect, obtain a good performance on the model. Then the third aspect is, know whether to believe the output, or the question here is, how do you know you can believe the output? How do you know whether you can believe the output? How can you figure out whether you can believe the output or not? Okay. So, the major things to focus here on are bad model or bad data or wrong assumptions. Okay. So, these are the major aspects. Bad model or bad data or wrong assumptions is one aspect that you need to focus. Okay. If they are not there, then the trustability increases, and this is true for other things as well. Okay. Then bad choice of software for model development. So, if you did not make the right choice of the software for model development, then it will also help you in increasing the trustability of the model. Then the third part is incorrect statistical analysis. So, if you use the wrong statistical tool to analyze the data, then this will result in what we call as GIGO, garbage in, garbage out. If you use the garbage tool and the wrong data to analyze the data of the simulation experiment, then you will get the garbage output, or the incorrect result will come to you. Okay. Then what happens is, the last one is wrong interpretation of the output. So, let's say if you see a scenario, for example, many of the time people study simulation, the system behavior of the simulation kind of looks like this. If you look at the system behavior, it looks like this sometimes. The system behaves typically like this. So, let's say this is the output of the system. Okay. And up to this point, you can see that performance of the system, this much period, okay, this time period, and the system performance is not stable, and here is the system is stable, okay, or steady state. Okay. So, if you take a small enough time window, okay, small enough time aspect, where the system has not reached a steady state, then you will never be able to do the steady state analysis. So, such kind of so this behavior of a system is called as transient. Okay. So, you have to make provisions for ensuring that the transient, you are not analyzing just the transient to make about the steady state of the system. So, you are not interpreting the result in the wrong fashion. Okay. Now, once this is done, the next question obviously is, how do you get others to believe the output? How do you get others to believe the output of the simulation? How do you make others believe that yes, this output coming from the simulation model is believable? And many a times use animations, okay, to show the flow, to show the flow within the system. But then animations means bigger and expensive system, hardware. So, you can make fancy animations to increase the believability of the system or make others to believe the system. But then once you use animations, when you have fancy animations, then you have bigger and expensive hardware is also required to run the same animations. So, in a way, having that animations might increase the believability of your model with others, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it will also increase the cost of your simulation study. So, the advantages and disadvantages of using the animation has to be strictly looked into. Okay. Now, we look into again, once again we will look into the definitions of what is a simulation, and given in the light of these key aspects of simulation, let us look into these definitions once again. And here I will focus more on the practitioner's definition. So, the practitioner's definition says simulation is the use of models to replicate or mimic, okay, replicate or mimic the behavior of real system, or we will call it as actual system. Okay. So, that is in a way what we are trying to do as a practitioner's definition here. This class is we use models to replicate or mimic, okay, replicate or mimic in a sense that we are basically trying to answer the question of how do the system behaves, how do the actual system behaves, and it is very expensive to study the behavior of the actual system with the help of the actual system. So, instead you use a model to replicate or mimic that behavior of the system, okay, because studying with real system is almost impossible. Or cost prohibitive or something like that. This in itself, studying with the actual system, the real system, is an almost of an impossible task, and hence because of that reason you actually use models to mimic or replicate the behavior of the actual system. And obviously the problem is that the models can have very different objectives. Okay. So, the major objectives you can think into multiple things. Okay. So, the first set of objectives we can think about it as the scientific experimentation. So, the first objective is scientific experimentation. What does this mean? Okay. This implies understand behavior or behaviors of the existing system. What we are focusing here is we are focusing to understand the behaviors of the existing system. Okay. That is one aspect of the scientific experimentation. An example of this is how DNA works. You may not be able to understand the behavior of the DNA because it is very hard to really take the DNA out and put it in a room and then see how it behaves. So, you might want to build a model of that, a particular model, and do the scientific experimentation of that, right. Then another example of is second example would be how will GST, goods and service tax, GST of India will help the economy after 10 years. So, this question, how the goods and service tax of India will help the economy after 10 years, you can actually study this by the real system, but it requires you waiting for 10 more long years, which you do not have. If you want to find out what is it going to be the impact on the economy after 10 years, you have to build no other option but to build a simulation model, put the values into it, try to mimic the behavior of the Indian economy and introduce the GST into it, and run the simulation for a duration of 10 years and look at the result, and then from the result make the conclusion. So, this is the scientific experimentation where you are more focused on understanding the behaviors of the existing system. The second objective that we can talk about it is designing a new system. Design a new system. Okay. So, in this case, the system does not exist. The most important thing is system does not exist. So, you cannot really play with an existing system because it actually does not exist. So, here the idea is that optimize a new system and also evaluate alternatives. Okay. So, for example, in this case is Airbus A380. Okay. They had at least 3 designs. Okay. Design 1, 2 and 3, and then they simulated this, used the simulation to decide which is the better design. They were trying to optimize the design in this regard, okay, optimizing a new system. Okay. Second part is find surprises or design flaws. When you are designing a new system, there will be something that you might not have considered. There might be something that would not, that have escaped the thought process of the designer or the design process. Those are called design flaws. These are the things that escaped the designer's consideration. Okay. So, in this case, these things had escaped the consideration of the designer, and hence those translates to what we call as design flaws and or the surprises, which will prevent the system from doing the expected behavior of the system. Then the third one is enhance understanding of the system. Okay. So, here it is called as know more. You want to know more about the system, you want to understand much more about what is the system. So, here the system exists, but you want to know more details to it. Okay. So, it is to know more details of the system. For something you might be interested in improving the system, mostly for improving the system. Okay. That is the major consideration here. Then the fourth part is the fourth objective that many people think about it is, which is also a develop skills. Okay. Or this can be, one is modeling skills, other one is specialized skills. So, an example of it is land 747, which is what we call as jumbo, with 3 engines failed. So, nobody in the sane mind will actually take a jumbo jet, a Boeing 747, fly up in the sky, destroy 3 engines and try to land with only 1 engine. It is suicidal. So, what people will try to do is, you can actually create a simulation environment in which a pilot can actually fly a virtual aircraft, take it up to a particular altitude and switch off the 3 engines, simulate the scenario of 3 engine failure, and see whether the person can land with a single engine. And in that process, the pilot will learn what are the major aspects, what are the major considerations, how much should be the flaps be, whether you should deploy the landing gear, you should be deploy the landing gear, when it should be landing, when it should be deployed, should the slats be deployed, okay, what is the RPM at which the engine should be running, all these aspects are considered. So, this results in building the specialized skills for a pilot in handling emergency. Okay. So, this case is not this, the specialized skill in this example is handling emergencies. Okay. So, that is also considered as one aspect. So, development of skills in a very tough situations or costly tricky situations is also one other objective of using the models to study a system. Okay. So, then the next part that we want to get into is what we call as the what if questions and simulation. Okay. What if analysis. Okay. What we are trying to say here is that the simulation always looks into what if analysis. Okay. What if analysis is, what in a better way the word to use this is alternative or alternate or alternate analysis. What are the alternatives that are available for the current system? So, to do that, the simplest and easiest way to do it is to build a simulation model, and so then alternative analysis, then you can say build simulation models and then analyze. Okay. So, this is one good aspect of simulation. So, what are the some of the examples? Okay. Let us talk about it quickly. So, it will give you an idea of what it will be. Okay. The effect of earthquake on a 100-story building. What will happen if an earthquake happens on a 100-story building? So, you can take the richer scale of, let us say, you can say it's earthquake is on a 4 scale, 4.5 scale, 5 scale, 5.5 scale, like this. What will happen? The multiple earthquakes comes into picture, or the earthquake of different magnitude comes into picture, and how do the 100-story building will behave to this. So, that is an example of alternate or what if question. What happen if this earthquake comes into picture? Okay. What happen if a tall building is hit by a jet? Okay. So, like for example, what happened in World Trade Center? What happened if a big building is hit by the jet? What will be the outcome of it? Then another example is, how would traffic congestion impact emergency vehicles? So, if there is a huge traffic congestion, how would it impact the movement of the emergency vehicles? Okay. What happen if all higher denominations of currency are eliminated, higher denominations eliminated above rupees 100. What would happen if all higher denominations of currencies eliminated above rupees 100? What will happen to that? So, for example of this is, if you eliminate all the currency above 100, then if you have 1 lakh rupees. So, in the case of 2000 notes, how many do you require? Okay. If you have what, how much if you have 50 notes, 50 200 notes, 10 200 notes will be 20,000, 50 of them. Okay. So, if you have 1,000 notes, So, how many it would be? 100 notes. If you have only 100 rupee notes, then how many? You will end up having 1000 of them. Okay. So, this will be 10 bundles. So, it will result in hoarding of black money difficult, but it will also result in making more ATM machines, because the number of currencies that can be dispensed by an ATM machine will be less. So, you require more ATM machines for people to to dispense that much amount of money. Okay. So, similarly, there are many questions, how does global warming influence the migration of birds? What happens if the temperature of the globe increased by 2 degrees Celsius? How would it influence the migration of the birds? These kind of things, these kind of what if questions can be quite well analyzed by using a simulation. Okay. With this, we get into what we call as the different needs, different user needs, and different users of different needs, and how do we manage these different user needs and that aspects of the simulation. So, the first point is certain users have complex, they require a complex and messy system descriptions. Okay. So, here the most important thing is realism with actual system is important. You want the system to be as realistic as possible with that of the actual system. Okay. Heavily used in military training, okay, aviation sector. So, the simulations that are used in military and aviation sector are quite complex and messy system descriptions, because you want to have it as close to as reality as possible. So, these are typically what we call as the expensive models. Okay. More realistic the model is, more expensive it actually becomes. Okay. Sometimes other users, they do require simplified abstract models. Okay. Here the focus is on enhancing the understanding of the user. Okay. That is the first thing. The user is focused on enhancing the understanding of the system. Okay. Then too much of details inhibit the understanding of the user. If you put too much of details into the system, it will inhibit the understanding of the user. Then sometimes performance is critical or is crucial, sometimes not. So, if you want to do a large experiment, okay, then the performance is crucial, because if the model is not fast, then your experimentation will take a long time. Sometimes you only do single experiment, only once you will do the experiment, and that is it. In those cases, you might not require the model to run that quickly, it can take a little bit of time because you are only doing it for once. So, correctness, okay. Sometimes correctness is crucial, sometimes not. Like for example, is that you want to probably estimate the, so in the case of a hospital or healthcare business, the correctness is quite crucial, where you are talking about dumping of food waste or landfill. You might not be interested in that much of a correctness as that in the case of a healthcare simulation model. Okay. So, depending upon the model that you are doing, you might want a highly correct model, or you might not want a highly correct model. The last part is the usage. Okay. So, some simulations run only once, whereas some simulations are used quite frequently. Okay. So, some of them are only used once and some of them are used quite frequently. So, depending upon the usage also you will end up different. So, the different type of users, the type of user varies, the same way are the needs of the simulation also varies in this regard. So, then obviously the question is, when to use the simulation, or what is the appropriate time to use the simulation. Okay. So, the major time that you will use the simulation includes, these are the major points that you should remember. When the system of interest, it is all about the system that you are interested in studying. When the system of interest, number 1, does not exist. Okay. So, if the system does not exist, then simulation is used to design the system. So, if the system does not exist, then you cannot study using the real system. So, you use simulation mostly to design the new system. Okay. Second one is, when the system of interest is too expensive to use for simple, okay, or we call it as mere studies. Let us say you want to find out what is the average queue length in a factory. A factory is an expensive system, and you don't want such a too expensive system to use for too simple studies. If that is the case, then we use simulation. Number 3, when the system of interest is too dangerous to study directly. So, you want to find out what is the impact of dropping of an atom bomb in a big city. It is pretty dangerous to actually take the atom bomb and drop it in the big city. Instead, what you would do is you build a simulation model of the city, and you build a model of the atom bomb and drop it, and then try to study it using different propagation shock waves and other things, and try to figure out how it actually happens. Okay. Then the fourth part is the system of interest is too slow. Okay. What is the impact of the GST on the country in 10 years or something like that. Okay. The system takes 10 years to do it, you cannot do anything about it. So, when the system is too slow, what you want to do is you want to take a quick look at various alternatives to see which ones to pursue in detail. If the system is too big and it is too slow, you want to look at some alternatives and to see which one to pursue in detail. That is when you use simulation. Okay. Okay. Also, it is like long periods of study in months or years. Okay. If your time period is too long to study, then it is also important to use a simulation. So, you can speed up the time, artificially speed up the time. Okay. Then the fifth consideration is when the system of interest is too fast. If it is running too fast, then what it down, then slow it down so that you can see what is going on. Okay. So, that is the last aspect. If the system is too fast, you want to actually find a way to slow it down so that you can actually see what is going on within the internals of the system. Okay. So, what we will do now is we will stop here today, and what our main aim would be to take the rest of the terms in the next rest of the parts in the next presentation, and we will go in detail from there. Thank you for your patient listening, and also please ensure that you go through the notes and as well as the assigned reading. We will see you soon. Thank you very much.